to give you the international housing rights instrument, Ken will get angry with me. UN Declaration on Human Rights says that everyone, Article 25, everyone has the right to standard of living, adequate housing, what do you call it? Adequate
Standard of living.
Standard of living for adequate health and well-being of human being for himself and for his family, including food, clothing, housing and medical care, necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other loss of livelihood circumstances beyond his control. ICESCR Article 11 states parties to the present covenant recognize the right to everyone to an adequate standard of living for himself and his family, including adequate food, clothing, housing, with the continuous improvement of living conditions. The state parties will take appropriate steps to ensure the realization of this right, recognizing to this effect the essential importance of international cooperation. These are the rights that we challenge the government to fulfill its obligations, because the Philippines is signatory to this housing rights instruments. You know, the Philippines are always signing international covenants, international instruments, but they are not fulfilling. Yeah, that's the problem. We are fond of signing. Yeah. This contribution to advancement of the right of women at the local level. You know, we are pioneering women's rights for politics and government. Women activism in Caloocan City was spanned in sentiments against the local government's inadequacies to implement programs and projects responsive to people's needs. Local authorities often veered from high-profile projects that did little to improve the quality of life of the people. In addition, the absence of basic general awareness and understanding of the problems among planners and implementers of the projects contributed to an overall plan and strategy that was undermined. Our organization is pioneering in the advancement of gender equality in the city of Caloocan. It's in the north. Together with our partner women organizations in 24 villages, we call it barangay, in Caloocan, we were able to successfully lobby for the enactment of the Gender and Development Ordinance for the city's legislative council. We lobbied, yeah. The ordinance we lobbied, the ordinance declaration of policy is, it is hereby declared in the policy of the Caloocan City Government that the women's sector is recognized as a vital partner in development and that gender issues and concerns shall be afforded priority attention. Functions of objective of the committee: 1. Formulate, implement, and evaluate programs, projects, and strategies designed to institutionalize gender and development efforts in government. Number B. Ensure organized participation of women, particularly those belonging to urban poor sectors, in the planning, decision-making, and assessment of city programs and projects pertaining to women's issues and concerns. Implement a comprehensive women's health program that will take of females' needs throughout their life cycle. Push to legislative measures addressing incest, spousal abuse, and other forms of violence against women, and implement a policy of establishing a women's crisis center in the city. And the sum of 1.5 million pesos has been appropriated for the operations of the committee. We're supposed to be the secretariat of the committee. Thereafter, it's authorized to recommend the allocation of additional funds for the committee's project and activities which will be incorporated in the city's annual budget. The obstacles. This is now our problem. Our advocacy has not been smooth sailing. Before the interagency committee was constituted and before it could tackle down to work, the administration of the newly elected Mayor GWEC, he's the new mayor of Caloocan, introduced amendments that diminished the strength of the ordinance. Some of these were the appointment of a focal person who doesn't have any knowledge on gender issues and concerns. allocating of the GAD budget, of the 1.5 budget, and 5% GAD budget for programs not concerned on gender and everything. That's our problem now in Philippines. Actually, it's a big problem because another election is coming and the government will be using that fund for his re-election. There's always an obstacle, but these are gains. GWEC has definitely enhanced awareness of their rights among women folk in Caloocan City. At least we, we successfully trained many women in Caloocan on their rights. Women are now enlightened on the important roles of their clan, particularly influencing political and development. You know, we have more councillors in local government now than before, and there are barangay chairmen, women barangay chairmen in different villages, barangays. Yeah. Okay. Definitely, the ordinance we advocated will be an instrument to uphold women's rights in Caloocan, even if we are not included in the committee. But our major challenges is, we are now in Santa Maria, Bulacan, where we transfer the people, build the capacity of women's organization in government relocation sites, to press the government units and agencies to provide basic services such as health, educational, and livelihood opportunities. Form a women coalition to effectively transfer mainstream the women's development agenda, allocating 5% of local government budget for women's programs for education, training, economic, and livelihood development, health daycare centers, etc. In the local government development plan. You know, the problem in local government here in the Philippines is they are very corrupt. No? The 5% is usually used for swinging, parties, not for gender issues and concerns. That's our big problem. You know, even on top level, even on top level down, we have laws. Yeah, we have good laws in the Philippines. But in terms of implementing the laws, it's the big problem. It's our big problem, and it's our big challenge, the women organizations in the Philippines. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's all. Before I forget, and also, before I forget, we are also involved in the conduct of quarterly medical and dental mission. Just Peace Foundation of Australia is very instrumental in assisting us. Regularly, quarterly, we're conducting medical and dental missions. And I have some recently, when is that? When was that? Recently, our country was devastated by Typhoon Ulan.
Saturday, wasn't it?
Last week, last Saturday. And more than 300 people, and still increasing, people dead. Because of
until now, no lights, no water.
Until now, Marisa is affected by the flood. I have some. Megan, please. Megan, I will show them some.